And we're going. We used to have this feature that we could wave. Now you got to press the button. So I have to like get it and then come back. Because these are raw, these videos. We just swing at it.
What did you just say earlier? We shoot from the hip.
Shoot from the hip. Yeah.
Exactly.
Welcome to Happy Chaos, the couple that's happy and chaotic. No, it's not just us, even though it is us, but it's not just us. It's all of us.
Yeah.
It's the whole
great big family.
Big old beautiful family. Yeah. If you're new here and you're like, what is Happy Chaos? What does that mean? It means that we're both widowed and then we found each other. The Lord led us to each other. We got married. Now we have 9 kids.
He orchestrated this beautiful thing.
I didn't. The Lord did.
The Lord.
There was not some behind the scenes plan that I was like, hey.
No, not at all.
I don't even know what that hand movement was. Like, I don't know what that would be.
Orchestrated.
That's what orchestrated is. Well, we're glad you guys are here.
Yeah, I'm Kelly.
What? I'm Justin. What's the episode number? What is this?
8.
8?
8. Lucky number 8.
Y'all, if there's one thing I am, it is dedicated. If I start something, I'm gonna finish it.
He is pretty dedicated.
I'm curious what this, like how many podcast episodes can we make?
1 million.
I love it. 1 million. I mean, that's a lot of weekends.
It is.
Might have to bump up our amount.
How many years would that equal? Or would we be long dead by then?
That would be 1 million divided by 52. I don't know.
All right, I'm doing it. I can't help it. But this is your phone, and it's got that new update, and
she doesn't know how to find stuff on it.
No.
Samsung updated. Anyways.
It's pretty cool, though.
We're going to do this little section where we read some comments, and we're really excited about this portion.
I love this portion. This has become one of my favorite things.
As she divides 1 million by 52. Maybe you've already done it in your head because you're that kind of math. Keep going. One more. Yeah, you got it. 52. Okay. I don't know why I'm watching her do that.
19,000.
19,230 years. I don't think we're making it to 1 million.
Okay. That was a little extreme.
Anyways, we're around for a little while, you guys. But today's episode, let me tell you what we're going to talk about today, which I think is going to be really great. We're going to talk about our wedding. So 2 widows, widower and widow.
2 widowed people.
Widowed people.
Yeah.
Is that allowed, or do I have to say widowered? But then that's...
You're going to get the widow please on you.
I know, the widow please. That's good. You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
There's kind of 2 types of the widow please. There's the type that are like, they're not widows, they got remarried.
Yeah.
No, totally.
And then there's the ones that say, how could you?
Well, yeah, maybe there's 3. Maybe there's lots of
there's lots.
Please.
There's lots.
But then there's the ones who say it's widower when you say widow, or, that sounds like, that's the female version. The male version is widower.
Do you want to peep the mug?
So, anyways,
I love my mugs.
We just don't necessarily feel like widower. We both agree that we're like, it sounds like the person who did the widowing.
Agree.
The widower. I know that's the way, that's how it works. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? It's comment time before we talk about our wedding. And I'm excited to talk about our wedding because this is a fun moment in life. Like just a fun time. Like when I say moment, I mean like a I don't know,
there's like the week building up to it, and then the night before was so exciting.
Season. That's the word I want to do, season. Okay, so first of all, we have comments, and I think we got a few from Facebook and one from Spotify that we wanted to read. Let's do that Spotify one first. This is from Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Sharon Holbert.
Yeah, that's right. And so she said, you already told us your favorite hot brown spot in the previous episode, 119 West Main. Do I win a prize? Okay, one, it's hard to keep up with all of what I say. Do you realize that this week alone, I've done 3 Bible studies in 1 Samuel. I've done a Bible study in Song of Solomon. When I do Bible studies, they're like 45 minutes to an hour. I've done Song of Solomon.
Not the time you put into it.
Oh, no.
That's what the Bible study ends up being.
That's the speaking portion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
we're talking like 18 hours for 2.
yeah. So then Song of Solomon 8 verses 6 and 7, and then last week the big David and Goliath story at church. So I mean, I'm only at like, I don't know. That alone is like 6 hours, 7 hours worth of speaking. I can't remember what I say.
But
She said, "Do I want a prize?" And I believe you did. Right now, you got your comment read.
that's something else.
You got your comment read on Happy Chaos. So that's the prize.
We'll get you a prize, Sharon. We'll get you a prize.
We have to actually get her a prize because she said that we're getting. I mean, we can get her a prize. I love Sharon, so I'll get her.
I love Sharon so much, and she came to me on Wednesday night, and she told me that she binge watched our podcast to get caught up.
Well, here you are.
I know. I love hearing that. And we just found out the other day that, I don't know if we probably said this in a different episode, but all of our kids, well, our 2 oldest in the house, the ones that work at Chick-fil-A, their kids, I mean, their friends all watch our podcast.
At least a group of them do.
Yeah.
Well, hi, our kids' friends.
Yeah.
Y'all got a shout out. Okay, love the O, said Joanne Crawley Palmer. She's talking about the O in the Happy Chaos sign.
Yeah.
So
We've gotten lots of compliments on that, by the way.
it's a nice way for us to differentiate between the Bible study and
Yeah, exactly. Because you had me on the whole truth yesterday.
yeah,
That was pretty cool.
that was fun.
Yep. Rachel Halligan. Oh, boy.
No, you started it.
I picked this
You
one.
started it. Read that.
Levadius.
Levadius. I think you got it right. Levadius.
All right.
Rachel
tell me if I'm
Levadius.
wrong.
I think you got it.
More Happy Chaos, just what I needed today. I love hearing that so much. Like, it makes my day to hear comments like that.
Julie Billman Chessman says, "I get so much out of these. Thank you both for being just real people. I wish we lived closer. I definitely would come to your church every Sunday. I like preaching that's learning, not just reading from the Bible, but explaining with examples. I like the fun that you two have. Thank you."
Oh, thanks for coming along.
And you can always watch the sermons online after the fact. I totally encourage you to go to your church. Like go to your home churches. That's a good place to be. Like find a home church, be in a home church.
But I get it. He used to tell me that too when I lived in Florida. He encouraged me to go to my home church. But I'm like, but I love your preaching and I want to be a part of that family. So I get it. I get it.
But would you agree with me now that you're like in a church family?
I would say move to Kentucky and come to a church. I'm just saying. We're like such a good family there.
All right. Read it.
Glenda Steele, love the sign. Just enjoy. You both are inspiring no matter what. The Lord bless you. Thank you, Glenda. That was very, very sweet.
I like this one. Catherine Cece, she says, spending problem is buying anything and everything. Gifting problem simply means you take a long time trying to find the best gift for someone.
Exactly.
So, Catherine, I would say that there is a spending problem.
No, there's not. There's not a spending problem.
We go to Walmart, and I have to like.
That's because we have 100 kids.
I have to like guard. I have to be like, don't go down that aisle.
What happened yesterday?
Don't go down that aisle.
I was going down the aisle and I was looking at tubes or like little swim things for our granddaughter, and he said, "You know when I know it's time to go? We're at $100 already." And it was actually $115, but
we went there for a pair of shorts for our daughter. $100 in the cart later. It's Walmart, so the shorts were not $100.
But whose fault was that? Let's just get into this really quick. He says, "You know where I'm going, right?" And I was like, "I know." And he's like, "I'm going to the clearance aisle." That was when we first get through the door, right? We get down the clearance aisle. This man finds a weed eater on clearance.
It's $40.
And then,
Hold on, wait.
and then he sees seeds because we want to plant a garden. And so he's over there loading.
It's May. We've got to plant. Who has the spending problem here?
And then I even said something about something I wanted. And I was like, But we'll think about that when we recoup some of this money from this trip. So who has the spending problem? Certainly not me. I don't. I have a gifting problem.
I bought seed packs for like $1.50, and
They were like $2 a pack.
what? And I'm, listen, y'all, we burned through weed eaters. You can't keep one of those
And
things.
it was $40.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a good buy.
Yeah, I would agree.
For me, it's got to be like a reason to purchase it.
But I'm just saying.
She can say what she wants. There was other stuff in that cart.
Yeah, you did get me my pathway lights that I
You're right.
really
And what she's confusing there is there was 2 trips to Walmart, and that was the first trip. Because later that night when we went back for the shorts, I was like, well, and I guess we did need to get some like household items for some other stuff. So it was like we were supposed to get like toilet paper and some other stuff. And so, but then after we got that, I was like, she was like trying to go down this aisle. I literally like tried to like get between her. I was like, go to the checkout, go to the checkout.
And then we're going past the clothes, and I'm like, oh, look at that. It's so cute. Shield my eyes.
It's a spending problem.
It's a gifting problem.
I just love that line. It's a gifting problem. Jane Payton said, where is your church? It is outside of LaGrange, Kentucky. You can look it up online. Salt and Light KY. Is it Salt and Light Church KY?
Yeah.
Salt and Light Church KY. .org. You can just look up Salt and Light Church, LaGrange, Kentucky.
That's why I don't say it in the announcements, because I'm always afraid I'm going to say it wrong.
Yeah, it might just be Salt and Light KY.
I think it is Salt and Light KY, to be honest with you.
Second thing we gotta like.
You can look it up while I.
Yeah, go for it.
Kendra Ann Bradley Norris. Love the sign. It's perfect. Kelly, you are so funny. Well, thank you.
I would agree. She brings the life.
Something. But thank you. I appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. Bet McCollum Mullen Sanders, you are a top fan, and I love that so much because I love reading your comments. Love this podcast. You two are precious. Thank you for answering my question about the hot browns. Sounds really delicious, and I'm absolutely going to try it. Happy Mother's Day, Kelly. Thank you, and I hope you had a really great Happy Mother's Day also.
I want to know when you try the hot brown what you think about it, because we went for Mother's Day to a pizza place, and they had a hot brown pizza.
Yes.
I didn't try it. I didn't feel obligated to try it because it's in pizza form, and so it's not quite a hot brown.
And because me and you were gonna split.
Right. We had some other plans. Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. And by the way, it's Salt and Light KY. Just take the church out of it. saltandlightky.org. There you go.
I just want to read this one really quick.
Okay. All right.
That's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing today.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So Diane Farrell Harland, you look better in color. It compliments you. Well, thank you.
Look, the impact of positive.
Hubby is over here like, I have told her that 100 times. But thank you. I appreciate that compliment.
Y'all don't know how many times she has on something colored. And I'm like, oh, that's cute. And she's like, you think? And then I turn around and do something and look back and she put on a black shirt.
That's not true. I've been wearing stuff lately that he tells me that looks cute.
Oh,
That's
boy.
a really good one.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Allison Lane said, I love watching, listening to, I guess it's supposed
It's
to be.
Southern.
To Yiz. Oh, I got to do the voice.
Yes,
okay. I love
that's
watching, listening to Yiz. Maybe that's supposed
Maybe
to
it's
be.
Northern. That's like Pennsylvania.
And
That's
following you. You're such an inspiration for me every day. And I very much look forward to seeing Yiz. It's the way we're saying it. To seeing Yiz. It's got to be y'all. I would say y'all.
Pennsylvania says yes. So.
Okay. All right. You can let me know. Is the yes purposeful?
Yeah.
Is that?
And are you from Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Following along your journey, I feel like I'm welcome to come along and know full well that's the goal. So here I is. LOL. But I can't stay here for the entire podcast. That's because they're so long. But you know what? Jump on Spotify and just pick up later.
While you're cleaning?
Yeah.
Just listen.
All right. So thank you for your dedication and your willingness to put yourselves out there. I greatly appreciate it.
And I kind of feel like you did that one so he would have to read the voice inflection like that.
Do you want me to
I think
try?
that's hilarious.
You want me to like try to put the voice inflection in it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I love watching and listening to Yiz. I would say.
I'm telling you, I have family.
You say it. You try it.
No.
Oh.
That one was for you.
she
That
had
one
me
was
do
directed at you.
She had me do it. Okay, enough of that. It's time to talk about our. It's time. It's time to talk about our wedding.
No.
Um,
My favorite.
so let's talk about a few things. Let's start with the top. Okay, let's just start with engagement, and then
Yes.
we'll just work our way forward.
I like that.
Okay, so Kelly, I don't know what was in her head. I do think I know what was in her head actually, but I can say what was in my head coming up to the engagement. Kelly had told me one thing about getting engaged. Early when we started talking, she said that when she first got married to her late husband, that she didn't get an engagement. She said, I want to be proposed to, like a on one knee proposal, and I want it to be a surprise.
But it was my fault that I didn't get proposed to the first time around because I'm impatient and yeah. And so we're like, let's go get married. We both want to. We both know we want to. And so
I have to rise above that. Y'all want to hear a little secret about Kelly? Okay, so when we were dating, it was very difficult to ask her on a date because she would always ask me first.
this is full of it. This is
No, I'm not. It would be like, it'd be coming up on a Friday. We still had families, y'all. So like dating, it wasn't like we were like out every night getting to go, whatever, go do stuff or whatever. We had to like plan it. And so it was like never failed. Every time I'm like, oh, I've got like Friday off or Saturday, we could go out on a date. Then she'd text me and she'd be like, it's been a while since we've been on a date. And I'm like, she always asked me first. Anyways,
But listen, I told you what kind of person I love to look forward to something. So ask me on a Monday. And so all week long, I'm like, I'm going out on Friday.
yeah, but life didn't work that way.
No, it didn't.
So
Yeah, I'm very impatient and I like to plan. Like I like to have something to look forward to all the time. It's a problem of mine.
and yet she wants a surprise engagement, and yet also she happens to be a little bit impatient. Don't spit that. Don't you spit that. If you do. So the mix of the two made it challenging because I could not. I went to my side, my children at the time, and I said, guys, Dad is thinking about getting engaged. Like I did the same thing when I was, okay, so you have to understand from my perspective, mom, my wife passes, their mom passes. And so then there was grief, and this isn't a sad episode, I don't want to talk sad stuff, but I told them when I started feeling like I was ready to meet someone, when I started feeling like I was ready to potentially date. Now, Kelly and I had already met, and we all knew my dating life was going to go that direction, but that's not the point. Like, I'm just saying to my kids, I'm like, hey, Dad's getting lonely. Don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. And so, told my kids that I was thinking about dating before I ever asked Kelly to date, to be my girlfriend. Okay. My girlfriend. But then, so then there was a amount of time. I mean, it was like a year and a half about a year and a half after, maybe a little more than that, after my wife passed before we dated.
It was a little over 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. 2 years. And then, so then we dated for a good year and a half. And then comes the part for the engagement. And so I go, she's told me this is what she wants, a surprise. So I have to do something that she can't put it together.
Because every girl, I feel like they know they're getting proposed to. And so he'd ask, well, what's your dream proposal and stuff? And I'm like, it's just like gifting for me. If I were to tell you, oh, this is my dream, I feel like it wouldn't be a from the heart thing. I want it to be, I don't care. I don't care if it's.
Well, so like I had all kinds of things in mind of like what I could do that would be sweet and cute or whatever, but they all led to like, you're gonna see it and you're gonna know.
Oh, I think your proposal was
if we go down to the riverside and there's a table with flowers around, up by the river, you're gonna be like, okay, there's a violinist and a chef or something like, with a tray. You're gonna know what's coming. Yeah. So like I wanted to do it in a way that was going to be like a full on, like I'm going to surprise her. So what I did was I had this plan in my mind that I was going to go to her house and I was going to propose, I'm gonna put this in quotes, propose when she wasn't there. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna go and like make this little video because I have all this like social media and she watches everything at the time, like everything that I post, everything that I do, like she was watching from the other end. So anytime I'd post something, I'd be like, well, tell me what you think about the reel or tell me what you think about the whatever. And then she would tell me. And so, so because we already had that in the relationship, I went over to her house that day.
And I was over here at your house.
No, you were not.
Yes, I was. I was taking down nails and picture frames out of the basement.
I'm pretty sure I'd sent you to the store for something. Regardless, she wasn't home.
Because all right, so this is my perspective from it. I'm down there taking down pictures and stuff. You come down and you said, I forgot to sign a piece of paper at Jeremiah's car place. I need to go do that. And I was like, why did you change? I didn't ask you, but you had you put on like a dress shirt instead of what you had on. And I'm like, that's weird that you would do that, but I didn't think twice about it. I'm like, okay, he's going, okay. And so you're like, all right, I love you, I'm going, I'll be back in 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm taking down stuff and then he calls me and he's like, hey, I totally forgot. We have an elders meeting and at Sharon's house and do you want to go with me? And I was like, yeah.
Wait, are you saying these things are back to back?
Yes.
Okay, so she's got the timeline off just a little.
Okay.
So I went to your house in the morning when you were not there. Okay. And so I'm like, how am I going to film this thing? Because I'm going to make it a reel and I'm going to tell her to watch the reel. So I went over to her house. I was the guy there. I'm telling you, this is how it went. So I went over to her house when she wasn't there. She's not home when I make this first video. I went and got her neighbor to hold my phone and like film me. And he's like, I'm a videographer, I can totally do this. And I'm like, great, perfect, hold this camera. And so I went over and I said what I was gonna say, and you can go back and watch that reel. We should probably like post it on there or something. We'll stick it in there.
Yeah.
And so I went over and I said this little, I had this little spiel, and then I went up to her door and I opened the door and I knock on the door in the video. Cut the video and leave everyone hanging, okay? So I have that video saved on my phone. I then come back, we finished working for the day. I really did have to go get paper signed at Jeremiah's. I wanted to put on the same thing I had in the first video. But either way, so I went over, signed the papers for my son's car. And then when I came back, I told Kelly, I have to remember, she wants a surprise. I can't tell her daughter because her daughter will tell her.
But you weren't here when you called me. You were still gone. You would call me right after you left.
Yeah.
It was like 10 minutes after you left.
Yes. And so I said, hey, there's an elders meeting. I have an elders meeting tonight, but if you want to go, would you want to go with me if I go to this elders meeting? And it's over at, by the way, Sharon. It was at her. I told her it was at her house. Sharon, I used you in my little. And so that's what I told her. I was like, would you want to go with me? Go home and get ready. And I was trying to help her because she was at my house like painting and stuff.
So I was in paint clothes.
I thought she was going to go home and like get all dressed up because that's what she kind of does. So I thought, oh, she'll go, because I didn't want her to be like, I have the rest of the plan coming in my mind, right? So I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I'm going to film the second half of the video, but this time when she's at home. So I sent her home and I'm like, okay, that way she'll get dressed up, because I didn't want her to be like, you can't put me in front of 100,000 people with,
Yeah, but so it was like a 3 o'clock type of a deal over Sharon. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, it's a last minute. I don't need to put it. I was going to put a dress on, but I was like, I don't need to put
See,
a dress
I knew that was my thought. Anyways, so I called her daughter and I was like, hey, come by the house, bring the girls by. And so I'm saying her daughter is in past perspective.
Yes.
Totally our daughter. But in that moment, I called her and I was like, hey, bring the kids over. And she's like, okay, something up? And I'm like, well, yeah. So she comes over, and when she got to my house, y'all, I literally did this. I was like, all my kids are there. So there's, well, I'm not all my children, but my children in the house that lived here were here at the house. And I was like, give me your phone. And she's like looking around all the kids and they're all grinning because they know what's coming. And I'm like, give me your phone. And so she gives me her phone, and I took her phone and I put it in my pocket because I didn't want her to text her mom and like, he's coming to propose with his this camera. And so,
I don't think she would have done that. If you had told her weeks prior, she would have had a hard time keeping it from me. But the day she knows how bad I want to surprise her, she wouldn't have.
I wasn't sure of that in the moment.
Yeah.
And so to protect what had been done. So here's what we did. We now all pile up in the car. The kids come with me. My second oldest daughter came and met us there, and we semicircled around her front porch. She's inside getting ready. I posted the first video of me going. Remember, I said I went and knocked on the door. I said a little thing, and I went and knocked on the door. So I posted that video of me. It ends with me like getting on one knee at her door. I posted that video of me knocking, and then I texted her and I was like, hey, check my reel. What do you think about my reel? And then as I sent that and she's getting ready to reply, I walked up to her front door. Remember, all the kids are semicircled around the front. And so then I knelt down on her front door, and then I knock on the door, and you could actually I could hear the video. She was like watching as she's opening the door, and then you see her reaction. And then we filmed that and posted that as a second video. So there's 2 videos. The first video came out. Well, the thing is, I waited a good while to post the second video. So there were like all these comments like, what did she say? And so
that was the most beautiful proposal ever. Seriously.
and were you surprised?
I was in a sweatshirt, y'all. A sweatshirt and leggings. If that doesn't say I was surprised, I don't know what does. But I really was not expecting it. Of all the times that I've been like, I wonder when it's going to happen. I wonder if it will happen. I totally was in a mindset at that time that I was like, it might not happen.
So then, you know what happened next? Kelly says, to my surprise, because she is not patient.
No.
And we said, immediate questions like from the kids. What do you all think is going to be the date? How long will you wait? Like, how long will you be engaged? What do you think the date's going to be?
Which we talked about that too, pre-engagement. And we both were like, if we get engaged, it's going to be short because we're adults and, we have families and.
Well, but we had said that in like, just to be clear with y'all, like we were not talking like, oh, when we get engaged.
Yes. Right.
I never let myself talk that way.
Right.
Like
You didn't.
No, I didn't. So
you didn't want to talk about tomorrow. Never mind.
So it was really more like conversations like what we're having here, saying, if I ever get engaged, if we ever get engaged, I wouldn't want a long engagement. It doesn't make sense to have a long engagement. And I guess I'll just spin off on that for just a second. The reason that it didn't make sense for a long engagement for us is because we're already established.
Right.
Like an engagement for a couple that is, in my mind, I see a couple of things. If you're looking for something specific in a wedding, like I want this venue, I want this guy to do the officiating, I want to make sure I want this photographer, I want to make sure this family can come in, then you need to give yourself some distance to make sure you can get those things.
Yeah. Especially venue and photographer.
Yeah, venue, photographer, cake decorator, whatever. If you're specific about those things, then you're going to need space. You need time so that you don't have somebody going, I can't do it on that weekend. I can't do it at that time. So you got to give yourself a little bit of space and a little bit of room to be able to maneuver. But we're not so concerned with that. Like, it didn't matter to us.
And we know how precious time is.
Yeah. So, and then couple that with, not being so specific about things is the fact that like, we don't need to find an apartment or find a house or go get furniture or like, as a matter of fact, we had the opposite. We had to downsize stuff to figure out how we're going to move everybody in. They had to downsize stuff to say, how are we going to, move over there? And so, that was happy chaos again.
Yeah.
There was one moment that wasn't happy. It was when I came, we'd had her house empty. We'd gotten married and we'd had her house empty, and we were trying to get it done so that we didn't have to pay another month's rent because she was at month to month at that point. And so we didn't want to have to pay another month's rent, but we had to be out by a certain time. And so I thought we had the whole house empty. Like what I thought was going to be a one day move her out. We've been over there every day for like 5 days. Yeah. And so,
bad.
And so we're getting ready to be done. And I went, Kelly. And she goes, what? And I was like, your attic.
And I was like, oh, it won't be that bad. We just did a whole house. It's just the attic.
So I got up in the attic. I started passing stuff down. filled up her entire kitchen with all of these boxes and stuff. I remember getting out of that attic feeling.
It was a defeated.
I was so defeated. I was like,
100%.
what are we going to do with all this stuff?
100%.
We're going to have to rent a storage unit, and then we might as well just pay the rent.
Yeah.
Um,
But, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say about the date.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Back to the date part. So the kids are saying, what's the date going to be? I thought that Kelly was going to say, like, tomorrow. All the kids thought she was going to say tomorrow.
That did come out, though, a little here in a little bit.
But at first, Kelly says May 25th, because then our wedding date would be 5/25/25, which is, by the way, like, what day is it today? It's
so
watch
next
this.
weekend would be.
Would it be next weekend?
Yeah, it would be next weekend.
So, like,
It would be a week from today.
that's kind of a fun thought. So she's like, let's do 5/25/25. And I think all of us were like aghast in the moment. We were like, what? You want to wait 6 months?
So here's the story behind that, though. So we got married, we got engaged last year, so 2024.
Yep. November.
About October, maybe September, I was on his phone and I put on his calendar an orange heart and a pink heart, our favorite colors, on 5/25/25. And this is because even though I was like, I don't know that we'll ever get engaged, I don't know what's going to happen there, I felt the Lord tell me 5/25/25. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to put it on his calendar. He's going to have no idea until we get to May. And then I'll explain it. If he proposes to me, I'll explain it to him. And so I did that. I put it on there. And so that's why
What if something like big and special happens on 5/25? Are you going to be like,
yes. But not that we should be married then, because I think there's something beautiful.
Maybe you had the right date. Maybe you just had the wrong idea of what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
Maybe she's going to get pregnant.
No. This 42-year-old is not having any more babies.
It'd be a miracle baby.
It would be a miracle baby because I can't have any more babies. But so
It's not like we don't have enough.
I know. Does someone want to be a surrogate for us?
Oh my!
I'm just kidding.
Let's just wait for grandbabies. Just a few more
I'm with
years.
you. I do not want any babies at this age. I'm ready for grandbaby stages, and we have a 7-year-old, so we still have a baby.
Yep.
But so when I said that, they were all like, what? You want to wait 6 months? Are you serious right now?
And I
was like, no, I'm just kidding. What are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, literally. I think that's the exact words you said.
And Jenny's like, I knew you. There's no way you could do that.
I feel like watching that happen from the outside looking in, it looked to me like you had said 5/25, trying to be reasonable with what maybe you thought that I would want. And then when you realized that we were all shocked at that, then you were like, it was like, I don't know, it felt like a reality check. Like, oh, what did I just say? No, like, forget it.
It definitely was. And just saying that at first, it was just because I feel like that date was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really did just get engaged. And I really did put that date on the calendar. So is that what it's supposed to be? But I was like, we are not waiting that long. We do not need to wait that long.
So I don't remember the number that I gave her. I think it was a day. I think I was like...
You said, can I sleep on it tonight?
Oh, wait. You started... No, because she was saying like a week too. Like then in all seriousness, you were saying like from then until like maybe the next weekend or something. And then we were saying like a week, a month, or 6 months. Oh, no, I mean...
Because January was going to be our next one.
And then there was still 5/25. At that point, I'm saying like that first day that was on the table. We went out to eat that night. To celebrate. Mm-hmm. So we went over to a restaurant and we sat there and just talked, and we were excited, and rightfully so. And so we just talked through, and I said, can you give me a day instead of like forcing me to make this decision right this second? Let me just think through what that
money, planning.
Yeah.
All the things.
Moving everyone over, how we're going to arrange the house. I mean, I had thought about it a little bit, but I hadn't really like full on, like calculated how much wood and how much drywall and how much, insulation. And because
And how long that would take us. We didn't know that also.
right. So, yeah. So in that moment where, this is coming on 1st of November and I'm like, let's think reasonably and let's take a moment and just kind of pause. And so we came back together and we talked through it and it was like, okay, tomorrow, this weekend, really is not a great idea. Just because it's going to rocket us in chaos, and not like this isn't going to be so much. So then it was like, do we want to wait till after the first of the year? And the deciding factor for us was that Christmas was coming, Thanksgiving was coming, Christmas was coming, holidays were going to be there. And if we get married in January, then you're going to go a full 12 months. And by the time the holidays get around, you kind of we'll lose the kind of, I don't know,
magic.
The buzz.
Oh, that's a bad word. Sorry.
You're gonna kind of lose the buzz, that happiness buzz of like, oh, everything's so new. And I will tell you that actually worked out really well. We got married in December.
A week before Christmas.
Yeah, just so maybe a few days more than a week, but
yeah, 11 days.
Okay, so it's.
He proposed on 11/11, and 11 is my favorite number, and that was intentional.
It's just a number. But anyways, it wasn't. That's intentional.
I'm not into numerology. It's just my favorite number.
I have a favorite color.
Good luck. It's just my favorite number.
I get you.
And we're a family of 11. I'm just saying, it just keeps adding up.
Yeah, but then grandbabies will change those numbers.
Yeah, but family unit of 11, immediate family.
But what if we have enough grandkids?
11 grandchildren.
Oh, we'll have way more than 11 grandchildren. You can't have 9 children and then only have 11 grandchildren. I'm pretty certain.
True.
Pretty certain we're going to have like 40.
Yeah. What if they have 11 each?
That would be.
Sorry, guys. Sorry I'm putting that on you, but.
That'd be a lot of grandkids.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. 99 grandkids.
But plus we wanted to wake up on Christmas Day together. There's something really special about that.
Yeah, we wanted to have that experience of just, everybody's excited and everybody's so happy and we were. I mean, everybody was excited and everybody was happy and it was just a big family fun time and we just loved it. And so that was the deciding factor for us was if we do it this year, then we can close out the year. Christmas and New Year's can be with the new family, like literally the new family. Like we'll only have been a family for a couple of weeks, which was, now that I look back on it, that was risky because if things didn't go well and it wasn't happy chaos, if it was like sad, depressed, mad, angry chaos, it wouldn't have been near as fun.
No, it wouldn't.
But we didn't. I mean, it literally was. It was
so beautiful.
Everybody kept saying like, this is where the name came from. I mean, this is right around the holidays. We've just blended the family. We now have 9 kids in the house, 7 kids in the house, 9 kids total, grandbaby. We're going to do Christmas morning at the house with all the kids and their significant others. And so, we're just like piling on. Everybody's going, how are you guys doing? How are y'all doing? And we're like, it's happy chaos. I mean, we're loving it, but it's chaotic. I mean, it's, just literally trying to keep up even with just the day-to-day, and then mix inside of that, moving Kelly over to the house, all of the holidays, what I just explained to you about like taking 5 days to move. And there was a moment when I was like, this is overwhelming,
And we were going to try and move everything over before December, right? Because didn't we get it all out by January? No, we did get it all out. But I think we're going to...
By January. We got it out in December. We got married and then moved over. I mean, we moved a couple of the kids over the weeks prior.
Yeah, we moved
so
my children then over here,
but
2 weeks before.
But we had to do that in stages. We built a couple of rooms, and then we after building those 2 bedrooms, once we got those built out, so we moved a child in, and then we moved a child from upstairs downstairs. And so we had to move some things around. And then once we got some things moved around, then we were able to.
And the reason we did that was to make life a little easier after we got married and I move in because if we did it all at one time, we were going on a honeymoon. It just would have been even more
it was
chaotic.
I think we were also thinking about the honeymoon part of it.
Yes.
Because we were thinking, if the girls come over and start moving in now, then they can get used to sleeping here.
Yes. So
and
when
and
we're
it feels, it feels a little more normal. And then that way, when we were gone on our honeymoon, they wouldn't, they wouldn't feel so out of place maybe. So it was intentional what we were doing by moving them over. And then, here's something, 2025, you guys can hear this. It's a good lesson. We stayed separated. Kelly lived at her house and I lived here. Yes, we moved her girls over. Yes, Kelly would come over during the day and she would be here through the day and she would say goodnight to her girls and help get them in bed. And then, when they were in bed, then we would say goodnight and she would go home. And that's the way that it should be. You should totally wait.
That was so hard, especially after engagement.
Yeah, sure.
Because it was like 3 weeks before our wedding, maybe 4 weeks. Yeah, 5 weeks. And those were the hardest weeks, though.
Especially when you're not patient.
Yes, yes. So hard.
Yeah, we're still human. I may be a pastor, but we're still humans. And so, and we're humans that have been married and know what that feels like and love that feeling. And so, it was a very intentional and a very purposeful, let's be patient, let's be patient, let's wait.
Yes.
And we will reap the rewards from that.
And it was so beautiful. I'm telling you, so beautiful.
Yeah.
I highly encourage people to do that. And if you're living together right now and you're not married, separate. Not break up.
Or get married.
Yeah, but separate first.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's for a week, separate. Spend that time away from each other where you're not staying the night with each other. Get married and then have that time together because what a beautiful thing. Yep. It really is. It makes it so special and yeah.
Yeah. And so there you go. Engagement up into, let's talk now about, so we have, actually we really just talked through the engagement portion. Let's talk about getting engaged, but then you have the engagement portion. So we were engaged for a little over a month. Yeah. And, I remember telling Kelly that first day, I said, after, we'd set a date down and we said, this is going to be our date. I said, here's the problem. The problem is when you only have this short window, then the sacrifice for that short window is you may not get things that you want. You may say, I want this dress. And they go, but we can't tailor that dress by that time. Or we want these things for, pictures. And you go, well, we can't get those props or we can't get that. You just have to accept the fact you got to be more flexible if you set an earlier date. And so we kind of came to that agreement. And I think I believe there's a lot of wisdom in that to say, just understand what you're doing. Because then when we did run into those things, it was like, we've talked about this, we know this. And it really was not super difficult. Kelly went and found a dress and it didn't need a whole lot of alterations, a little bit, but not a whole ton. And so she, we were able to take care of the dress and take care of wedding cake and, of course, friends.
Shout out to Lisa Stogner. She's such a great friend and a sweet sister. She paid for my wedding dress. That was the sweetest thing.
That was very sweet. And honestly, our church just
covered us. Wrapped their arms around us.
Yes. I mean, in every way, everybody, I literally had people calling me going, what can we do? Yeah. What can we do? How can we help? Yeah. And that's unique and special. And
so special.
I think, at that point, just I don't know a better way to say it. I'm not trying to sound cliche, but our tribe just came around us and said, whether it was kids, home.
Oh, yes.
We had a friend, Kurt, came over and helped me build out the rooms. I mean, literally was tell me the, tell me the date. I'll come over. And sure enough, he did. He came over.
In a day.
Yeah, actually, I think he even went and got the wood for me. Did I get the wood?
No. Well, yeah, we did get the wood.
Yeah, I did. But still,
But he offered to. He offered. He's like, I'll go there. I'll get everything.
I'll get it picked up. I think I did pick it up though.
Yeah, we did. We were at Lowe's that night. Right?
Mm-hmm. So, people came over and helped build stuff and helped plan stuff and make stuff. And so, but then you have a different issue too with a short window. And then there was this kind of unique thing. We have all these people who are around us.
Which is what made our decision. The people that wrapped us up and that have loved us and watched your grief journey from day one.
And so we came to this place of, what do we do? We cannot afford to pay to cater food and rent a venue for hundreds and hundreds of people because I'm a pastor of a church, and so you have the local community that knows, you have our church body that knows, and they want to be a part, and they're all excited and genuinely excited because they love us, but we can't afford. And so we came up with this genius idea. I'd had the idea before anyways, but I said, and so my perspective was, you have two choices. You either limit the number of people that are going to come,
Which it would have to be a family private wedding.
even our family's a big group.
Right.
So, it'd have to be like this private event, private wedding. And I think that there would have been some hurt feelings if we had
And
done
that was off the table immediately. I mean, even thinking about it, we're like, no,
Right.
we want our tribe.
Right. So then we're like, how do we do this? But I had an idea before. And so we just ran with it, which was potluck. I used to be Baptist.
Can't recommend it enough. Seriously.
It made so much sense, and everyone loved it, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, at least from what I heard, like everyone loved getting to participate. So we just did full on like potluck. Just bring a dish with you. We put it out. That was the food that everybody brought. Everybody brought food with them because we could not afford to pay to cater in food for, and it was, I mean, we probably had 450 people at our wedding.
It was about that.
And so, somewhere between 400 and 500 people at the wedding. I mean, to cater in food for 400 people would have been probably $20,000. And we just couldn't do that. And so we utilized the church. So we have a church building that's big enough. And so we utilized the church. We didn't have to pay for a venue in that way. And then this tribe of people that had said they'd come around us, they did. I mean, they came and put out all the tables at church. And
You guys, Sharon Holbert led the charge, but there were so many people there. I would say we had a good 30 people the night before.
it was crazy. I mean, all these people came out and helped us decorate and put stuff out, and really super special.
Hours we spent the night before, and people just pouring, making bouquets, making table arrangements. It was just beautiful.
And I'm Mr. Simple over here. They're like, "Are you gonna have tablecloths?" And I was like, "No, we don't need tablecloths." And they were like, "We need tablecloths." And so but it did look special. I mean, it was really beautiful. It was really, I remember actually there's a little video of it. There's a reel back there on my Instagram somewhere where, I was standing up there that night. And maybe now, like, hearing the story of where we were coming from, maybe now you might look at that reel and go, "Oh, I get it." Like, it was just there was a moment there. I was up at the top and I'm looking down. There's all these people down there getting ready for us to get married the next day. And so, really, really special. But because of that, I mean, we saved a ton of money, and I think people had a great time. And it was really more about the special time that everybody got to come and spend with us, rather than, "Oh, well, did you feed us, a good meal?"
Oh, people were like, listen, I would go and not eat to be there. And which they didn't have to. We had Katie and Assis had everything set up and poured her blood, sweat, and tears in it, and everybody brought something.
Oh goodness, I went up. I mean, we have this. Our church used to be a horse auction. When I say this for you non-local people that are like, "What's he talking about?" We have a bar at our church. It's not. There's no alcohol in our church.
It's just this huge.
But it's used to be the bar at the horse auction. I mean, this was like a big horse auction. This isn't a little place. And so there's a 75-foot oblong bar counter. And so 75 feet, y'all, that's like as long as my house. And so, and it was full. I mean, full of food.
Yeah.
The next day. I mean, there was so much food up there. So highly recommend potluck your
for sure.
Potluck your wedding. I mean, I feel like for all of my kids moving forward, I'm like, "Hey, I know how we can do this.
Yeah, for sure.
Potluck it."
Yeah.
So, it was great. I mean, if you're worried about potlucks, I know somebody's gonna be like, "I don't eat potluck food." Well, I mean, you're missing out. Sure, some cat probably stepped in one of them or something, but it's okay. You're gonna make it. You've never heard people get worried about potlucks?
No.
Oh, they're like, I've seen videos about it. There'll be like somebody cooking something, and there'll be like a cat that'll like put their paw in, and then the lady will like move the cat's paw out and keep stirring it or whatever. And they're like, "This is why I don't eat at potlucks." And like, that's builds your immune system.
Exactly.
You're gonna be all right.
But we had people, and still to this day, come to us and say, that was, even over my own wedding, the most beautiful wedding I have ever experienced. And it truly, truly was.
It was, oh, well, someone didn't have their phone on silent. You can tell old people from young people on who has sound on their phone. Those with sound are old. And so
Even though it's usually on silent.
I like those. You're even old. Don't be mad at me. Y'all don't be mad. You ready? You're even older if you do the flashing light on your phone. So that you,
I think that's an iPhone thing. Do ours even do that?
I probably somewhere, but I just know the flashing light makes me laugh so hard. I'm like, but that's because the noise still isn't enough because then you won't realize it's your noise. If you're that person that doesn't realize it's your noise coming from your phone, then you got to put a flashing light. And so,
Oh my gosh.
I love y'all. If y'all watch who I'm talking about, I'm so sorry, but I gotta tell the story. I was at church the other week, last week maybe. It might have just been one Sunday ago, and the music was going, and all of a sudden somebody's phone is blaring, ringing, flashing light is happening, phone is ringing, and it's like the kind of that classic, cell phone type of ring going off. And the guy who it was his phone, he is looking around for whose phone it is. He's like, phone is that? He's like looking all around, and his wife goes, "It's you."
Where was I?
You're right beside me. I thought you saw it.
Oh my god.
And so it was like the bridge of the song, and like the music from the stage goes down, and then you can hear this type of sound, and he's all looking around, and she's like, "It's you."
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So the older you are, the more you realize. Yeah, I mean, when Elon Musk gets his way and implants chips in people's heads, I think that for us older folk, then you could have a chip in your brain with something on
It vibrates your eyes.
Yeah, your eyes. Something would come across to say this person's calling you, and we'd still be like, "Is that me?"
For those that take the chip, because we're not having anything implanted.
We would think it was on the screen, on the lyric screen at church. We're like, why'd they put that on the screen that they're calling?
Oh my gosh, my text message is up on the screen.
Yeah, right. Hey, you want to hear another funny story?
Yeah.
This doesn't have anything to do with our podcast.
Yeah,
but
that's
a little
okay.
side note for you.
Yeah.
So I used to be an upholsterer. I would upholster furniture. And we had an option to put fabric protector, like a protectant, on your furniture. And so it was a little upcharge. I think it was like $25, and you could get fabric protector on your furniture. And so this guy orders his furniture from us, gets it redone, orders the fabric protector for $25, and we sprayed his furniture down. And we drive it out to him, and he calls up like a week later, and he's like, "There is a big old stain right on the arm of this couch." I think it was a couch, but whatever it was, it's a piece. He's like, "There's a big old stain on it." He's like, "Big mark, and I cannot get it out for anything. And y'all were supposed to fabric protect it." And we're like, "Oh, well, hold on. Like, let's come look." I mean, I can't guarantee nothing can stain it, but let's come look and see what's going on. Well, we get out there, and there's this line, this like off-colored line on his piece. And my dad walks over and puts his hand down to rub it. He looks to the side, looks back, reaches over, grabs this guy's music stand, moves the music stand. It was reflecting onto the arm of the the couch. It was like the reflection, like the sun reflection, like a light beam. And he goes,
Gosh.
"Huh." Yeah, so that's what we would do if we.
Oh my gosh.
So if older folks had, even if it was like a text in our eyeballs, we would still like that. You could see like in your own sight, we would think it was on something.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
yeah, I hate to tell y'all, like, make you who are young, you young guys who are watching from our kids' work. You're gonna go from the no sound on your phone. You go to vibrate. You go from vibrate to sound.
Yep.
Then you go to like what I just had, you go like super loud where you turn it up all the way. That way you can really hear it. And then you turn on a flashing light so that you can see it and hear it and feel it.
I wonder how many people are shutting off their flashing light right now because of this.
I didn't know this. I didn't know anybody calculated that this was an old people thing.
I'm not old. It's so funny. I always thought that like our parents were just being dramatic, when they did the whole like
holding it away from.
Oh gosh, I do it all the time.
I see you do it all the time.
Hold on.
Every time you do it, I'm like, she looks like my dad.
Team Tim.
Oh. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk next. Well, there was our intermission. Let's talk a little bit about just the wedding itself, like getting up to the wedding. We've talked about all the people that helped there, and that was so lovely and special. But I think just like the wedding day itself, we wanted some things traditional. Obviously, some things were not. We wanted to have a wedding. She wanted to, have a wedding dress, and I wasn't much on the idea of like, you can't see me before the wedding, but I'm like, if you want that, I can go with it. Doesn't matter to me.
Speaking of your dad, he was the one who was like, you can't even see each other the night before.
Oh yeah, my dad. He would have kept backing that up though. That's just my dad.
He's so cute.
He would always. It's like his way of like messing with you. Like if you think you have to wait for something, he tries to like add more time to it. Yeah, like I remember being like 16 years old, and when I turned 16 was when they changed the law in Kentucky that you had to wait 6 months from the time you get your permit to your license. You had to wait 6 months. Well, my dad had a house rule that you had to wait 6 months. So my brothers, even though it wasn't law, my brothers had to wait 6 months. They turned 16 and they had to have 6 months of driving with him before they could get their license. So my oldest brother, then my middle brother, then it comes to me, and the law just changed like weeks before I'm going to get my permit. The law had just changed that now we have to wait 6 months. And so my dad goes, oh, well, your brothers had to wait 6 months after the law said they could get it. So you have to wait another 6 months. And I'm like, I have to wait a year? And I remember my mom being in the kitchen. She's like, no, you don't have to wait a year. I'm getting all upset. And so anyways, he'll always like, that's his way of like messing. He'll like try to add more time. So my dad's like, you can't see each other the night before. If you'd have went with the night before, you know what he would have said? You can't see each other the week before. He would like add it on to that. Do you guys have a dad that would do that? That's like that would have been my dad. Anyways, so Kelly didn't want us to see each other the day of the.
Well, we saw each other the morning of.
Yeah, not
because I did the boy's hair. And...
She didn't want me to see her in her dress.
Yes.
Now I will say that we did do this, which I enjoyed. We did the reveal in front of everyone. Like I did not see her prior to.
The ceremony.
The ceremony, like while she was in her dress. Once she's ready, I didn't see her.
Which I want to talk since we're at the wedding day. We saw each other in the morning. I did the boy's hair before I left, and then me and the girls left to go to the church and get ready. All my friends had this beautiful room set up for us with like these little snacks and waters and like a clothes rack to hang, and the girls' dresses were hung up there, and a mirror.
I cleaned the bathroom.
Before our wedding, you were cleaning the bathroom. Wow.
Well, I knew we were leaving on our honeymoon, and so I wanted to clean when we got back. So I cleaned them. She's like, we had snacks and it was all set up.
And you were cleaning.
I was using Comet. We don't use Comet. I don't know why I said that.
I love Comet, by the way. I want to get some more for the church.
Interesting.
I know.
I just learned that.
It just works wonderfully. I love it.
I'm like a Lysol fan. I don't like Comet. Like, what is it about Comet?
It takes away like the stains. It cleans really good.
I'm like, I haven't seen Comet in years. My mom used to use it, and so I'm having memories. Like as you're saying, I feel like I can smell Comet. Did you feel like you can smell it?
Yeah.
That can't be good for you. It's probably what they're putting in the chemtrails.
It's so good. It probably is actually.
Comet it makes sense. Comet.
Yeah. So
back to the wedding
day. I'm in my room getting ready, and I get my hair done first, and then the girls line up, which Cassidy did our hair and as a gift. And oh my gosh, she did such a wonderful job. I told her, I was like, you need to do my hair again. And she's like, anytime. But anyway, so I was getting ready, and I could not eat for the life of me. Everybody's like, you need to eat. And I'm like, nope. And I was like, as the day was progressing, I was getting like pale and faintish. And I'm like, you guys, I'm going to have an anxiety attack right now. I don't know why I'm feeling like this. And like, I had to sit down, and I had all these people like around me, and they're like, just drink some water, do this. And I'm like, you guys, I don't know. I'm feeling like really, really weak right now. And I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do. And then Becky Bales comes in, and my little prayer warrior, and she comes in and she gives me something new, something borrowed, something blue. And she just sat and she prayed over me. And I'm telling you, it was like and just, I don't know, it was beautiful. She really helped me through that. And then I started working myself up a little bit more. And I asked his dad to walk me down the aisle. Well, to Justin.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
No, you go ahead. I wanted to talk about like where our mind was on
Yeah,
that.
definitely. And so once I got out there and I saw your dad, he took me and he hugged me and he's like, it's going to be great. And, just said these beautiful things to me and just everything, just like I just totally let go of everything. He was so sweet and so perfect for that moment for me. And so, yeah. All right, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
No, I just want to talk about, not that you don't know,
Yeah.
but so we, to some degree, we absolutely recognized not even to some degree, like we recognized our scenario more than others could recognize our scenario. And in a widow and a widower coming together to get married. And, imagine Kelly's, just for a moment, just imagine like what Kelly's life was like as a mom with 3 daughters who had, lost business and place to live and income and husband and all of it. And, she had moved here to Kentucky. And so life was difficult. And Kelly took it like a champ, and she took it on the chin, and she never complained ever once. And, yes, in a lot of ways was I here to help as a friend and then as a boyfriend. And, I'm a man, like, and I want to be a real man. Like real men, real men are not toxic. Real men they take care, they provide, they step in, they want to rescue and they want to help. And so, that's what I want to be. And so that's what I wanted to be for Kelly. And I would be that. But at the same time, I could only be so much. And so there was definitely a portion of this that was if I can say this, and I hope this doesn't sound conceited in some way, but that it was kind of a Ruth and Boaz moment for us. Like, we're coming together and, yes, did I lose my wife? Yes. But was there ever a threat of like, I'm going to lose my home? Never. It's a different scenario. I'm a man with a job. Like I was the provider in my home. And so, my home looked different. And you could be a widow. Don't misunderstand this comment. This is not a man-woman thing.
Right.
Like, you could be a woman who has a great job. Maybe you guys have great life insurance or something, and you could be a widow that's not in this scenario. But I'm saying in our scenario, it was a Ruth Boaz moment because, all of a sudden Kelly's life doesn't look so, I hope I'm not speaking for you, but like from my perspective, your life didn't look so unsure of like what's next. Yeah. The idea of like living week to week, paycheck to paycheck is off the table. Yeah. Like we're past that. I'm past that. Like I'm older and I've saved and I have, I'm in a good position. And so, you're marrying into a good position. Yeah. And so,
because I didn't have life insurance. I didn't have any of that. Like,
right.
I went from living paycheck to paycheck to now losing our business, losing my husband, a place to live, all of that at one time. And I did have a few friends help, what they could right after he passed and right before he passed. But yeah.
So, and it's been that way for a couple of years. Yeah. And certainly, I remember, here's a little inside information. I remember having a conversation with Kelly before we were even dating. And she was looking at jobs. And I remember telling her, and I said, Kelly, like, you're worth so much more than, what, like, she's finding these jobs and they're,
$25,000.
Yeah, $25,000 a year or, $20 an hour. And I remember telling her, I was like, Kelly, like, you're worth more than that, and you have to go for more than that. Like you have got, but she, she's not coming from that mindset. And so, I'm trying to encourage her. And I remember being on the phone one day and she told me, she was like, Justin, that's not what I want in life. I don't want to be a career woman. I don't want to be climbing the corporate ladder.
I don't want to own my own house by myself.
Yeah. And so, but yet thrust, this is the hard part. I mean, I remember getting off the phone that day and thinking like, I know you don't want that, but that's where you've been forced. And you were, I mean, that's what it was. You're looking at this thing that you don't want and you're being forced into it because of the hand that you've been dealt. And so now come to the wedding, and there's this kind of Ruth Boaz. If you don't know the story of Ruth in the Bible, it's 4 chapters. Go read it. Go open up your Bible, find where it says Ruth at the top.
Which you preached that.
I did. I mean, I remember Chip asking me, one of our friends, Chip, he was part of the wedding, and he said, did you do that on purpose? I was like, well, to some degree, like it's kind of that portion of my life right now. And so because of that, that was a really long way of getting around to, Kelly wanted me to walk her down the aisle. Like she wanted me to come and walk her down. Like that was a special thing for us, because it was like yes, we're coming together in marriage, but also because of the situation that she's coming from and coming into. And so it was just a really special thing. And we wanted to incorporate my dad as well. And my dad had offered to walk Kelly down the aisle. So we came up with this scenario where my dad came down. So they opened the doors. We had the 2 big double doors. And so they opened the big double doors, and I was up in front, and there's the big reveal. And then my dad walks her halfway down, and then I walk up and meet them halfway. And so it's a big long aisle. So, my dad walks her halfway down the aisle. I meet them at this, and it was a nice transition point because it was kind of right behind the floor seating, right out of the tunnel, right behind the floor seating. And so I went down and I met her right behind the seats. And then I took her from that point and walked her the rest of the way. Because, at this point, she's been married. Like, we don't need someone to give her away, so to speak. It was more like, bringing her in rather than giving her away. So it was just a really sweet symbolic thing. And that's the reason we did it that way. If you were there at the wedding and you guys watch this and you go, oh, we wondered why it was that way. That was the purpose to it. So
that was so beautiful.
And then vows. We did both vows. We wrote our own vows, and then we did the traditional, repeat after me vows as well. And
which we even changed those up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. So, went through and we have those somewhere that I think we were going to talk about framing them.
I still have the flowers, unless you threw them away. I put them in a bag in the closet down here.
I don't think I would have thrown them.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
I want to press the flowers into a big frame and put both of our vows in the frame. Yeah.
But they were kind of lengthy.
I know. That's why we probably have to rewrite them in a little bit smaller, even though they're pretty small. I really want to do that. I think it's a beautiful thing.
We could type them.
Handwritten.
Never mind.
So beautiful.
Don't type them. Yeah. So that was a special moment too. Was just having our own vows that we could kind of profess our love for each other, and also our promise that we're making to each other in our own words, so that it's not just the repeat after me. I would give an encouragement to anyone thinking about getting married, whether you're young and thinking about getting married for the first time, or maybe you've been widowed or divorced or whatever. And if you're thinking about getting married a second time, I would just encourage you to think that, as from a pastor's perspective, a wedding, there's very little about a wedding that is given in Scripture, other than the fact that a man and woman should come together in marriage. There is very little about the ceremony of that. Like, how do you officiate a wedding? Like, what makes it an official wedding? Y'all, it's traditional. Like, it's all those other things around it are even the vows are tradition. There's no Bible verse. You can't go to 3 Corinthians and find, do you take so-and-so to be your lawfully wedded you can't find that.
Yeah.
It's tradition. So even if you're looking it up online, like you have to look up traditional vows versus contemporary vows or something of that nature. And so the vow ceremony, the ring ceremony, in the Old Testament, you go back in Genesis and, Rebecca's brought to Isaac and he takes her in his mother's tent. Like that's it. Like they're married at that point. And, she had a nose ring, he gave her a nose ring. And so, yeah. I see her looking right now. She's like, I'm gonna put the nose ring back in.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
So, Rebecca had like a nose ring and we don't even see any ceremony whatsoever. And then you fast forward into the New Testament and they would have like a 5-day deal, to have a wedding was like a big feast and a big festival. And it's tradition of your time. I think those traditions are important and I think that they're special. They make it special and they make it unique. And so I would encourage you to say, like, look through those and go, okay, which ones are special and unique and that we want? And which ones are the ones that you say, hey, not for me.
Why do you do this?
Yeah, if you look at it and go, why do you do this? It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Like we had our children as our bridal party. And so, we've got 9 of them and plus our 2 son-in-laws. And so there was 11 of them that walked down together hand in hand. And we had them line up at the front. So then when we walked together to the front, we all held hands at the front and had Kirk, our pastor friend, pray over us right then and there. And the whole church prayed over us, over our marriage, over our family. And that was such a beautiful, special thing too.
I remember when I was going through, I can't think of the name of the class now, but when I was in seminary, I was going through a class about like church management, church business stuff. And one of those was officiating weddings and funerals. There was like there was a section about that. And I remember reading, I thought this was interesting. I'd never heard it this way, but traditionally, this was an old book that I was reading. Traditionally, best man and maid of honor were supposed to be married. Like you were supposed to have, your best man was supposed to be, it wasn't just your best friend. It wasn't like we're like, oh, your best mate, but that's not what it was. Traditionally, the best man was supposed to be married. The maid of honor was supposed to be married. And then that way they could help advise you who are getting married, like what you're going to go through, what's going to happen, the experience of it all. Like that's where it came from, was like, here's somebody who's been through it and done it. And they can give you advice about like the wedding itself and also coming into the marriage. I thought that was an interesting thing.
That's very interesting.
And we've just changed it to, now we say best man and maid of honor. And we're like, well, you're my best friend, And so for us, it didn't make sense to have that for our bridal party because here we are with all of our kids. And so we wanted our children to be included because we're blending our families. We wanted our children to be included in the wedding. And so girls were on her side and boys were on my side. Even though you didn't bring any boys into the mix. So, boys rule. We had the others. No. So, it was very beautiful and very sweet. And then one more thing that I would like to talk about would be something that I've seen at other weddings. I call these when I'm working with a couple that's going to get married, I sit them down and go over like what they want in their wedding. And I always ask them, what about I call them the extras, the things that sometimes you see them in a wedding and sometimes you don't, sometimes you see people do a unity candle or sometimes you see people do I've seen them pour sand. I've seen them melt crowns onto a board and try to like melt a picture, like something they could hang up on their wall. That one was a disaster. Don't do that one. So what was that like?
No, I'm picturing it while you're in this. I heard you tell the story the other day, so I'm like, yeah.
Don't stand there with a hairdryer and crowns. It takes forever. It was awkward. The whole thing was bad.
Yeah.
But so as an extra, though, something we wanted in our wedding that we thought would be really special was foot washing. Just a moment in time where we could have each other, just her and I.
Serve each other.
Yeah, serve each other. And I'd never washed feet before, other than baby feet. Then, I'd never washed anybody's feet in that way, not in a ceremonial type of a way. And so, but that was a really special thing that we did. Now, we just did a foot washing at church, which turned out really great. It was a really special night. But at our wedding, there was a special moment where we got to go
So special.
step to the side and wash each other's feet. And I thought that was a really beautiful
It really was.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
I want to relive it.
In your head.
Yes.
Relive it in your
I need
head.
to watch the videos that everybody took.
Yeah. So that, yeah, I think that just overall, I think my encouragement to anyone looking at marriage, if I could say something to, especially to those who are widowed, widower, can I just say a couple things about that real quick? Again, don't want to make this, I think we've done a good job of keeping this podcast light today. We've not gotten heavy about anything, but I do want to speak to like the kind of grieving side of some people, because you all know that was part of our story. And certainly, for me, you can answer for yourself, but for me, there were definitely emotions that came with the idea of getting married, and then even on the wedding day. And, here I am, pastor, and I'm telling you, there are definitely thoughts that run through my mind about like, how is this actually going to work when I die one day? Because when I die one day, I'm going to see my Lord, and then I'm going to see my late wife. And, how is that going to work out? And I can just say that, questions, what I want to get at there, my point is that like questions are natural, feelings are natural, but you are not doing anything wrong by getting married. As a matter of fact, you're doing something right. The Bible literally says, like Paul said, let the widows marry. Like, your vow that you took was until death do us part. When your spouse dies, you have fulfilled the vow to its fullest. Like there is no way to fulfill that vow any further. I want you to think about what I just said there. You are not fulfilling the vow to stay single after marriage unless you literally put that in early on and said, not even death will part us. I will be yours and yours only, and no one else's, and I will never marry again. You are not breaking that vow because you said think about logically what's happening. When you got married, you made a promise between you and this person and the Lord that you would be together until death do you part. If you said those traditional vows, that was the vow that you made. And that's what marriage is. When you get married, you are saying death will be the thing that parts us. That's the promise that you're making to each other. And I'm not coming at other people for divorce, or that's not what we're talking about today.
Right.
I'm simply saying that in marriage, the promise that you've done, the thing you've said is we're going to be together until death separates us. Like we're going to be together for the remainder of our lives.
That's right.
But there's a reality check that the likelihood is one of the two will die before the other.
Yeah.
Sometimes people die at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes other things happen, but the likelihood is if your marriage lasts, then one of you will pass away. At that moment, you've fulfilled the promise, you fulfilled the obligation. There is no obligation on you to remain single.
Right.
And by the way, if I could say it this way, there's no one on the other side of that that's going to give you a trophy for that. There's no diadem. There's no promise from the Lord that you get an extra crown for staying single and staying devoted to solely one person and not allowing someone else in.
That's right.
And then I have another thing to say too. I could probably preach a whole sermon about this, but I have another one that I'd like to give everybody as well.
Yeah.
Which is this: you are not replacing one person with another person. It is not, Kelly is not my replacement for Sarah.
That's right.
And that's why, you hear me say it. I've said it in sermons. I've said it here on The Whole Truth. I've said it on Happy Chaos. I've said it in a million other places. Well, maybe not a million, because that would be like 19,000 years. You have to see the first of the episode if you missed it. But I reject so hard the idea of like moving on. When people say, you're moving on. I said, we are not moving on. We move forward, but not on.
That's right.
And you might go, that's the same thing. It's not the same thing to us. No. It's not the same thing for us, because to say move on means let go of it. And people say that. They're like, let go of the past. I'll pass on that.
That's right.
Like I'm not at the past. I get when you have to use the statement like the past doesn't define us, but to some degree and in some things the past to
for
testify.
sure.
Like our lives are like our children are a testimony.
That's
of that.
right.
Like, my children are here because of my past.
That's right.
My home is here because of my past.
That's right.
And so we're not moving on.
Yeah.
And we're not replacing.
And if I can speak into that, if you are not a widow or a widower and you're marrying a widow or widower, save a place for their late spouse.
Yeah.
That is so important. And I know if you haven't experienced it, you don't understand, but there is no need for jealousy. There is no need for, like I've heard stories of people like, oh, take down the pictures of your late spouse because, I don't like it. You're still married to them. It's keeping this hold. You have to understand that person holds a very significant place in somebody's life. I like to say it like him and Sarah built a foundation together with their children, my children now also, but built a foundation. Me and Jonathan built a foundation with our children. They built this concrete foundation that now we're building a house on top of that.
Yeah.
So they're always a part of that foundation.
Yeah.
And should remain that way. Keeping a place for them, number one, it's so helpful for the other person.
Even bridges have foundations.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
we have a foundation in our life. We have this foundational part.
That's
or,
right.
If you need to picture something else there besides foundational, that's fine. But the point is that like I would think in my mind, like Christ is foundational, but then our spouses are pillars.
Yes.
They're posts.
Yes.
That they make up the whole.
Yeah.
And what you don't, it's so funny, like you don't scrap other parts. If you have to because of tragedy or something, I get it. I'm not talking from a therapeutic standpoint, but I'm saying that like as a whole,
That's right.
your life, your circumstances have now defined you. Mm-hmm. And so now you are who you are, good, bad, or otherwise, because you've gone through, you have a life experience. It doesn't make sense to me that for some reason, when it comes to people who are widowed, that it's like, cast them off. You gotta move on. You gotta move forward. You gotta get past it.
If you talk about them, you're holding on. You gotta move on. If you're having a sad day, you're holding on.
Words that are irksome to me are like, get over it.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to get over it. Whoa, hold on.
Or stop holding on.
Yeah, or stop holding on. I don't think you understand. First of all, like, you wouldn't say that about somebody's dad.
Right.
If somebody lost their dad, you don't go, well, you got to move on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Like, no, like if somebody loses their dad, they have, it would be really bad advice. Imagine looking at a 10-year-old boy whose dad died. Now he's 14 years old and you look at him and go, well, you got to move on.
Yeah.
But you don't have to move on.
That's right.
At the same time, you don't have to let it hold you back.
Right.
My encouragement today is not for those who have an issue with saying about widows or widowers. You're going to have that, by the way. There are definitely going to be people who have opinions because everybody's got an opinion about everything.
That's right.
My recommendation for you who are dealing with someone's opinions, write that they don't understand.
That's right.
It's okay that they don't understand, but they don't understand as a whole.
Yeah.
And so if you're not talking to somebody who has experienced it, and who knows, I'm telling you firsthand, talk to widows, talk to widowers, and they have a totally different tune than those who've not experienced and just say, oh, well, if I was in your shoes, I would.
That's right.
That it's not the same thing. Yeah. So, but my encouragement to you who are looking at dating and looking at getting married, there are definitely feelings that happen. Yeah. I know for a long time when we first started dating, I felt like I was cheating. Yeah. I said that to Kelly. I was like, I feel like I'm cheating on Sarah. Mm-hmm. I know I'm not cheating on Sarah, but I feel like I am. Mm-hmm. And so I have to get over that feeling. And it was a beautiful thing that we had because we allowed each other the space to work through that and the space and the time to work through that. And so even at our wedding, back to our wedding, we took a seat in the front and we had a little memorial picture set up of our late spouses. And, no, there was nothing weird or whatever about that. Our spouses are with the Lord and with him eternally. It was for us to be able to say, like, this is a part of who we are and what's made us. That's and so here's our families coming together, and these two are a part of our families. Yeah. And so I can also tell you that, I think once you get to a place in your mind to accept that this is their past, they're not, no one is longing for the past. Like, I don't want to be with you, and so I'm longing for the past. It's not that. It's just that, did you ever have good days growing up that you're like, oh man, those were such great days. Those were such good times. It's the same way. Like, I'm not jealous if I hear that, Kelly's like, well, when we were growing up, we used to skip school and go surfing. She was in Florida. That was a little inside Florida joke, but I think watch the surfers. I don't think you ever really surfed.
I never surfed.
But
we're going to do that together.
But you did skip school to go watch surfers.
No.
I thought you'd skip school. Did you ever skip school?
I've never skipped school.
Such a brown note.
Oh, I was very much a brown noser.
Well, if I was in Florida and there was a beach, I would have skipped school and went to the beach. But
a lot of people did.
I'm sure.
I was a goody. And
yeah. But did you go? Am I mixing up stories? Did you go watch surfers?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. All the time.
Yeah. So, anyways, if Kelly was to tell me, I got the story mixed up. But if Kelly was to say, oh, like, when I was a kid, we used to go do this, I don't feel jealousy over that. Yeah. I'm like, that's a part of who she was. When she talks about Jonathan, I don't feel like, literally, I don't feel anything about that as if like in a negative way. I don't feel any negativity like, oh, I wish you wouldn't talk about that, or that stings or whatever, because it's a part of who she is. And I love her, and who she is today came from who she was before. Like, they've built one on another. And for those of you who've got a jaded past, just consider for a moment that even that jaded path, if you're out of that now, you're out of that. You don't have to revel in it, but it was stepping stones that got you to who you are today.
Right.
Your understanding of life is coming from who you were.
That's
and
right.
For you widows and widowers, that is coming from your spouse as well.
Yeah.
And if you're in the thick of it, like if you're in the early stages of grief, if you're in the early stages of widowhood, and you're hearing this right now, I would love you to hear a message of hope that, like, there is an end, maybe not an end, but there is a lessening to what you're feeling right now.
Big time.
The overwhelming feeling that you feel right now, that can subside, that can soften.
Yes.
And, waves of grief do not always have to feel like tsunamis.
That's right.
There's times that they might feel like a tsunami, but they don't always have to feel like a tsunami.
Yeah.
So.
And I highly encourage you, when you start dating and thinking about marriage again, make sure it's with somebody, even if they're not a widow or widower. Make sure it's with somebody who understands and gives you grace in that area, because goodness.
That's really advice for anybody getting married.
Yeah.
You should be the person that you're going to spend your life with. That person needs to be able to afford you the grace that you need. It's not grace that you deserve, or then it wouldn't be grace, but it's the grace that you need to be able to survive. Yeah. All of us have something that we could point the finger at another person and find fault with.
That's right.
And so certainly you don't want to be mixed up in a scenario where somebody's finding fault with your past when you're trying to move past that, or
that's for sure.
Whatever. So man, got a little heavy.
Not really. It was not. But we did have this frame. My friend Heather Gailey, she made us this frame, and it says "broken together" at the top, because we've been broken. He was married, I was married, we lost our spouses, and now we're broken together. And some people have found offense to that, broken together for weird reasons, but everybody that came to our wedding, we had it up top on a table, and in the center was a picture of me and Justin, and on one side is a picture of Justin and Sarah, and then the other side was me and Jonathan. And it has this beautiful thing that I wrote up about, let our story be a story of the restoration of God and the goodness of God. And everybody that came through, like, tears started immediately when they walked through that door and saw that set up. But it really is just something so beautiful to incorporate our late spouses in our entire wedding.
Yeah. We've really just embraced the fact that we were broken, and the Lord has brought us together. And so instead of trying to pretend that we're not, we've just embraced what we are.
Yeah.
And I think that that's been a really big help for us. And I think we're doing a good job. You know what? I think we're doing a good job. Right. Oh, maybe we should just pat each other. you're doing a good
You're doing
job.
so good.
I feel like that just cheapened the whole thing. It was good for a moment, and then I'm like,
We're
well,
gonna add some fun to it. Though.
yeah, that's
I'm
right.
just saying.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to hear about our wedding day. We would love to hear your stories about your wedding day. Maybe something that happened that was,
Yeah.
I don't know, unforeseen or off the wall,
Or even something special that you had incorporated in your wedding.
You know what I just realized? I just looked over and I saw the little monitor, and our chaos sign, we're off centered. Have y'all been watching this whole time and we're off centered?
I noticed it right at the end, like 5 minutes ago. It always ends up that way. I don't know whether I'm pushing you over or you just move over, and so I'm.
That's not centered on the screen. Like now we're way off. It looks to me the left might be right on that side, but now we're way off. Well, happy chaos.
We'll try to straighten it in.
Yeah.
Our edit.
We should like mark the floor or something so we know.
That's a good idea.
I told y'all we just fly by the seat of our pants.
We really do.
What did I say earlier? What was that?
Shoot from the hip.
We shoot from the hip. Yeah.
Is that what that means? Like when they draw a gun, they shoot from the hip?
Yeah.
Or am I totally off?
Well, that's what it means.
Okay.
Instead of aiming
Yeah.
and getting it right, like snipe
Shooting
shooting,
up.
like you pull from the hip and shoot.
Okay.
So you shoot from the hip.
All right. Look at my country self.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you like use the holster and like shoot from the
Or
hip.
that you're old and you're shooting from the hip.
No, that would be shoot your hip. It's different. And then your phone flashes and you
You're gonna get some hate mail for this one.
oh no. I'm waiting for the comments like my phone flashes. I'm sorry. That's what you have to do to get your attention when the sound isn't enough. Somebody's gonna be like, that's not it. It's not.
Leave it in the comments too if you're like a youngin' and
Yeah.
you have a flash on your phone.
There's not. If you're a young person, you have sound. You don't even have vibrate. Y'all turn the vibrate off. It's the strangest thing. I
have vibrate off.
I'm telling you, like,
Sound off, vibrate off, everything. I can't
oh,
stand.
you're so young. Young at heart.
Yours is always off, sound and everything though. Maybe vibrate, it's not, but your sound is always off. I'm really shocked that your phone went off today. You never have the sound on your phone.
Well, I turn it up and down because of church.
Should we just transition? Are you?
You saying I'm older than you? Not by date. Not by birth date.
83, 84, peas, tomatoes. Listen, we would love it if you guys would get on Spotify
Yeah.
and check out our podcast there. Listen to it while you're driving, and you can even listen to it with your kids. We're good, clean fun here.
Y'all want to hear something fun? Can we like share
Yes.
with them? Y'all want to hear a little inside information before we wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
We might have a couple of like brand deals happening. So that could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
So if you guys own a brand,
That's true too. Yeah.
let us know, and we'll work something out.
Yeah, but I mean, like we're having like some conversations, like even later
Yeah.
this week, we're going to be having some conversations about some of those. So that's really exciting.
It's so exciting.
Just to,
Big things are happening.
yeah, all the way around.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we've enjoyed this today. Thank y'all for coming along with us. We'll see you in a week, or you'll hear us.
And you guys,
We'll talk to you.
And every week I feel like we get a question about the Happy Chaos podcast shirts. You guys, I'm linking it everywhere. Everywhere there is.
Just click the links.
Yeah, just click the link and get one. And if you buy one, please send us a picture, because I love to like highlight you guys and put you up there. And we have lots of other shirts coming out too. So
What you can't see on this one, maybe you can if I get real far about this area, it's blue because my kids threw the whites in with the colors. And at some point somebody said, what's the harm? What does that do? Well, the blue bled onto my shirt from the washing machine. It's not from anything else. It came out of the washer when I pulled it out of the washer. The kids had thrown it in for me, and they're slaves. I make them do it. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I don't know why they did it that day.
it's because we had laundry in the bottom of the washer. Sophia had Mila's our youngest, put the laundry in.
It
And
was
so
their
she
laundry,
can't
that's
see
right.
over the washer.
Yeah. So the
And so she just
7-year-old.
dumped the basket of laundry, not seeing our laundry already cleaned and washed on the bottom of it.
That's what it was.
And then re-washed it together, and it was black towels.
Oh, and they put this blue mark. So anyways,
Yes.
so I got a big blue mark on my shirt. I got to get another shirt. It's okay.
Yeah,
It'd be fun. So if you want one, it'd be a good time. I got to get one anyways.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, y'all. Have a good week. Talk to y'all next time.